I'm Helen Clark, former New Zealand Prime Minister and former Administrator of the United Nations Development Programme.
Helen Clark is a pivotal leader of our times who is exercising her stateswomanship against COVID-19, the greatest threat to peace and security. She wants countries and communities to go hard and forward together. But I ask, will they? I'm James Chau.
I think many people are shocked by the flat-footed response of the international community. Let's accept from that the World Health Organization, which has been on the case from the time it was first aware of the virus and has really tried to give global leadership on it, but not enough countries have been listening to it, nor learning the lessons from those who did move very fast to contain the spread of the virus and then work to eliminate it. But at the geopolitical level, at our UN Security Council, for example, it's all geopolitics. And as I understand it, early discussion descended into a blame game with name calling. That's not constructive to getting a resolution. Fortunately, in the meeting last week, where the Security Council did discuss issues, albeit mostly related to the UN itself, I thought the tone of the statements from permanent members was more positive. And so I don't rule out that at some point we might get a decent resolution from the Security Council. But what I'm looking for is for it to use the Ebola precedent from 2014 and declare the pandemic what it is, a threat to global peace and security.
You seem to be describing incremental improvements in the tone and urgency of countries here.
I was part of the initiative coordinated by former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Gordon Brown, to write to the G20 leaders. I am hopeful that in the course of this week we're in now, with the G20 finance ministers meetings and the IMF and World Bank spring meetings, which are all virtual, that there will be some news that's positive for developing countries who badly need support. But again, I need to put a caveat on that, because some of the signals are that the conditionalities on the support that poor countries are going to need could be quite serious. And this is not a time for severe conditionalities and telling people to prune their budgets. This is a time for coming in and underwriting economies which will be knocked over by the pandemic. We can't be too tough on developing countries which are extremely poor. And as you rightly say, we are facing severe social implications if countries are forced into a situation where they're poorest. And we're seeing this on our TVs. The poorest are saying, I'm going to die of hunger here before I die of COVID-19.
Since our interview, and thanks to efforts by global moderators like Helen Clark and Gordon Brown, the G20 leaders have agreed to suspend debt payments for over 70 of the world's poorest countries. Saudi Arabia, chair of the G20, says this will involve at least $20 billion. The China Current continues its special coverage on the coronavirus outbreak. Go to our social media @The China Current and our website for interviews, videos, and podcasts. I'm James Chau. Thank you.